You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 243.
243. Wow, man. I went to a family cookout yesterday and I was addressed as the uncle that put that shit on. So I'm going to just go with that this week.
No, I'm going to hit a round of applause for that right there. That's fine. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated the podcast. Twitter is Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat the podcast. And our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And please be sure to check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there.
Yes, sir. If you want to follow us individually, I'm the Mind of Ralph across the social media platforms.
On Twitter, I'm JON2_ the letter B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. Also, special shout out to WDJYFM 99.1 in Atlanta.
ATL, hope.
Shout out to OS Gang down there in Georgia, man. Oh my God, Ralph, my guy,
yes,
my brethren,
yes,
my
yes,
pal.
yes, all that.
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man.
Yeah.
I've had a pretty crazy week and a half. You know what I'm saying? Everything's been kind of moving kind of fast.
Yeah.
But we talk about, things here kind of personal, even on off the mic. But
for sure.
August is a rough month for your boy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I celebrate my brother's birthday, who happens to be deceased. He would have been 34 this year.
Okay.
And then I still deal with the grief of that and the death of my mother. So a lot of that kind of compounds in the month of August. So I just kind of have those moments where grief definitely kicks your boy's ass. And I don't put it out there like that, but y'all know a nigga be grieving. But I don't, we ain't got to do woe is me every day, because I'm woe is me is every day. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
It's kind of like that. So, but no, I appreciate, friendships like this, just kind of give me a chance to, keep going and do things. So, especially this creative outlet right here. So, no, I appreciate you, bro.
Oh, no, for sure.
You don't even know it, but I appreciate you.
Yeah. It's all good, man.
But so that, and then we celebrate my brother yesterday. Over at my pop's house. I mean, well, my pop's here too, but I ain't mean to say it like that.
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
So we was over there, over there kicking and everything. And then my niece brought her friends around, and this is my first time I'm meeting them. And so they was like, "Oh, okay. So you the uncle that be putting that shit on?" I was like,
felt good, didn't it?
I'm like, man, I got the kids approval, man. They not kids, but they like 20, 19, 20, something.
No, they kids.
Yeah, I mean, they kids, but
they adult.
Nah, y'all kids.
They in limbo, but no, they kids.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That hit me right here.
It feels good when the youngest compliment you, because that ain't easy to come by.
Man, what?
It ain't easy to come by.
And then I had a crazy week, just busy, and like you said, work is work. But Wednesday went out on the school night. Went to see PJ Morton at the pageant. Fire concert.
That's what's up.
Excellent showman. If you know, PJ ain't nothing but a church kid. So the ministry of music, imagine him doing R&B. Same thing. You know what
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, PJ cold though. You can tell Stevie Wonder, he's heavily influenced by Stevie Wonder. So if you can get into Stevie stuff, you can probably rock with PJ.
Got you.
And then, Friday, we had a shared experience. We were at R&B and Lyrics, the traveling hip hop festival. It hits all the major black markets, I would say. And Project Pat was the headliner, but it's free to get in. Man. So I didn't get it. See, this is the thing, right? Me and Johnny be in the same places sometimes, right? But we never utilize that to take pictures. We don't me and bro was in the same place the same time, right? And we didn't get a picture together.
He's right. And I'm not really the picture guy. Yes, sometimes I get my pictures off, but I'm never really thinking, oh, this is a prime opportunity. It doesn't hit me. And Ralph and I, we stood in line together for an hour
At
getting
least.
like to get inside of the place,
Yeah.
right? We had ample opportunity. It was still enough light out, like it. We could have, but we just didn't. We just didn't.
Hold on, I got beef with Johnny too, right? So
Oh, shit.
we stand
Oh,
stand in line, right? Johnny came up, was like, hey man, I was like, hey, what's going on, bro? Now we both at the end of this line, right? Like this long ass line that's wrapped around
two corners.
We're in the back of the building.
The back, yeah.
By the dumpsters.
Yes.
Right? You can see the dumpsters, right?
Facts.
The service door.
That's right. That's right.
So, we stand in line. Johnny was like, hey, can I get in line with you? I was like, bro, what I'm gonna make you do? Stand behind these 6 people? I was kind of mad that he asked me. I was like, nigga, if you don't get right here.
Listen.
And then he was like, no, I'm just go to the back. Johnny, stop playing with me, bro. We about to fight out here. Stop playing with me. Get this line, bro.
Listen, man. Ralph is my brother.
So why would
But the type of person I am, I never want to assume.
Why would I make you
know.
and your old lady
I
get
don't
to the back
know,
of
man.
6 people? It ain't like I was in the front. And even if I was in the front, I would have made a concession. But like 6 people, I don't even think they was tripping. I don't even think they looked.
Brain for it, man. I don't listen, man. I had just came on vacation the day before. Listen, I am
He was
in.
like, can I get with you?
I'm still in. I'm by the water mode. Like I'm just. I don't know.
I was like, man,
Because when we walked up,
insulted me, man.
first of all, when we walked up, I mean, I was happy to see my guy, right?
Yeah.
But in my brain, I was a little late, so I'm thinking he already inside. So I was just gonna hit him when I got inside.
Yeah.
But walking up, I seen him and his wife. I was like, okay, bet this is lit. I can see my guy.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that 6 people was walking behind in front of us, and it's like, well, I don't know. Brain for it, man.
Yes.
Brain for it. It happened. It happened. It happened.
But yeah, man.
Yeah. That's crazy. Listen, man, I'm coming on vacation.
Okay.
I still feel great. I am really trying to put in the back of my mind that I have to like go back to work tomorrow because I really want to cry. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I really want to cry. I had a phenomenal week, man. Was in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
Me and Ralph talked about it, but I had the VIP experience at Universal Studios.
Yeah,
Listen,
talk.
highly recommend.
Talk.
Highly recommend you do it at least once, man. Had a 7-hour tour guide. We going through the back to get to all the ride. Like, it was fire, absolutely fire. Breakfast and lunch included. Can use your VIP badge once the tour is over to like as a fast pass to still get to the front of the line and rides. Like, great experience, man.
Okay.
100 out of 10, 10 out of 10, all that. Like, it was great. And again, I'm the guy. I'm not the social media TikTok guy. I do not have videos of this shit. I don't. I may have taken maybe 6 or 7 videos and pictures throughout the day, but bro, I am enjoying the experience.
That is true, but you still have to document. You don't have to post. Now it's like if you don't want to lean into the posting of it, cool.
Yeah,
but document.
But man, I'm
like, you got to document.
I'm in it. Like, this is just great. I can tell you how great of a vacation I had. You know, at the beginning of the week, your iPhone tell you your average usage time for your phone. Yeah. Bro, my shit was like an hour and 30 minutes for the week. My shit was down 84%.
Yeah,
like 84%. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
You gonna catch back up, bro.
No. Listen, tomorrow I'm back on it. I'm back on it tomorrow. It's crazy. But also, I want to shout out my baby, man. I went to Orlando with a girlfriend. Round of applause. I came back with a fiance. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Gunshots too.
Yeah, I was gonna
gunshots too. Gunshots. Cheering.
Yeah. What else you got?
No. Fuck, I slapped somebody too. Fuck it. Why not? I'm that excited. I'll slap somebody. Yeah. Yes, sir. But yeah, man, came back with a fiance. So excited, man. It was a really great week. Rented a boat. We were out on the lake, big ass lake. Did it there, man. Her family was with us as well. Yes, it was great, man. Great experience. Listen, man, this is probably one of the best weeks I've had in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, that's how great this vacation was. Which is probably also the reason why I want to cry for going back to work tomorrow. But here we are, nonetheless, here to give y'all some content.
Yeah. But you know what I heard?
What's that?
Bachelor party. Yeah, what we doing?
Hey.
What we doing?
We'll talk.
What we doing?
We'll talk.
Off the dome?
Off the dome.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, I got one for you, bro. You might have to think about this one.
Okay.
It won't be a complete stump. I trust me on this. Musical groups, man. They're like the epitome, the bane of music, right? You love a good group, right?
Word.
If you could prevent one group from breaking up, who would it be?
Ooh. Ooh, that is a great question. If I could prevent one group from breaking up,
regardless of genre.
City Girls. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
You know what? Well, no, I don't want to say that. I was going to say NSYNC,
Okay.
but I feel like if they were to continue as the Backstreet Boys did, I still feel like there would have been a lot of animosity between the group members, especially with Justin and JC. So I'm not gonna say NSYNC.
Okay.
Damn, that is a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you have one? Because
I do.
Yeah, I gotta think about this one.
I'm gonna go with NWA, and I'll say this right.
Mm-hmm.
They were formed in, let's say, 86, and they phased out in like 91. So it was that 5 years.
Yeah.
They had what, 2 albums?
Yes.
One that's really, the one that everyone talks about, Straight Outta Compton, right? The influence, the whole conglomerate of those, rappers or hip hop personalities or MCs, however you want to phrase it. I just don't think they had enough catalog. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously the influence is always gonna be there, and you get 3 West Coast like legends, like not discounting, like, how we look at Yella and MC Ren.
Yeah.
But the fact that Q, Dre, and Eazy-E was all in the same group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the money got in the way, the fame got in the way, those things got in the way, which left Q to leave the group, which kind of hurt the whole brand. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hurt the whole thing. And Q went on and did his own thing and had the best, solo career out of everybody in the group, if you're talking about rapping.
Right.
So, because obviously he was the writer, so that kind of hurt what the second album was, even though people still enjoy it. I don't think it was definitely Straight Outta Compton. It didn't have that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they was beefing with Q and slyly beefing with each other.
Right, exactly. Does Disturbing the Peace count? That's not technically a group.
It's not a group, but it's like a label
collective.
Collective. Like, if you want to use that.
Yeah. I can't use them.
I mean,
okay, I'm gonna use them because I feel like with Ludacris being the face, the head of Disturbing the Peace, I think their roster had a lot of potential to really make huge waves throughout hip hop. Like, of course, they had a moment, they had a run. And I'm really thinking the most towards Shauna, right? Shauna being one of the premier women rappers just in hip hop, period, right?
Yeah.
I don't think she was like really pushed the way that she should have been as a woman rapper. But again, it's a sign of the times, right? Early 2000s, women were really pushed a certain way, and she could really rap. Like, she could really rap. So also thinking about what's the group 2 Chainz was in. Why am I drawing the blank? Player Circle. Even with them, I think they had the potential to really push waves in hip hop as well. Chingy was with them. Like, they just had the roster that I felt like could have lasted long in hip hop, but for whatever reason, just didn't.
Field Mob was like really
Field Mob. Oh my God, Field Mob. Yes,
Field Mob was really underrated.
Absolutely. So, Disturbing the Peace, I feel like really could have did something to have longevity in hip hop, but whatever happens on the back end happened, and here we are now.
Okay. No, that's what's up.
Disturbing the Peace, man. All right. So for my Off the Dome, let me pull this up real quick.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
So the year. It's 1991.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you 4 films.
All right.
One gotta go. Ready? House Party 2. Boyz N The Hood. The 5 Heartbeats. New Jack City.
House Party 2.
Oh, just off the bat, easy like that.
I mean, it's a sequel.
Oh, damn. Good point.
It's a sequel. Now, if it was House Party, all right, you might have a little more.
Okay, we talking House Party 1. It's a different conversation.
Different conversation.
Dang, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean, it makes sense.
Because like my preference is 3. Like, even how trash it is. Like, because 3 got all them comedians in it.
Okay, I feel that. I was really trying to justify keeping House Party 2, but I feel
not against those 3. Not against those 3. Sheesh. Get that shit out of here quick.
Easy, no hesitation.
Right.
No pause, nothing.
No.
Just there. Damn. All right. Well, House Party 2 it is. That took no time.
Right, no time. Hey, people, that was off the dome, man. What group would you prevent from breaking up and why?
Yeah, and which movie has to go from 1991? Let us know. That's crazy. That's crazy.
OS gang, what's happening? Family and kin folk.
It's cracking.
We got a few topics here on the OS News docket for the week. Let's start here first, man. Beyonce back outside, presumably, right? To peddle another product.
Yep.
But this time it's whiskey. Johnny, what do you have to say about Queen Bee selling whiskey?
It's dope. Like I'm surprised she hasn't had liquor before now. Mm-hmm. Especially with the business dealings that Jay-Z has had, Ace of Spades, Duce, all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm kind of shocked in reading this that it kind of took this long for her to get one. But again, it's kind of tied back to her roots. She found out like a great uncle or something was a what do you call it? Moonshiner. Mm-hmm. Which is dope, right? Being able to learn the history of your family and you know, seeing the different types of ties they have to different companies and things like that. So that's dope. So for her to want to piggyback off of that, I think is really cool. But it's cool, I guess. Like you think this is finna be in the music videos now?
No.
No.
Nah. It's like, bro, it's okay. Let's start here first, right? Shout out to, black business, black capitalism, I guess, as if you want that's the route you want to go.
Right.
Using said heritage, not to say it's a lie, but it's a great marketing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's all how you market it, right?
True. True.
So if you just saying that, hey, my great granddaddy was a moonshiner.
He's a moonshiner.
So I'm gonna start selling y'all niggas whiskey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing about Beyonce, right? She drops in, she helicopters in and out with the album. No personality to really go along with selling certain things, and now you pop out with whiskey. You know what I'm saying? And a nice bottle of whiskey at that is $89.
Okay,
so $89 is a nice that's a nice price point for whiskey.
Okay,
as somebody that likes to consume whiskey, that's pretty good brand name.
Pretty good, bro. Okay.
Yeah, because they ain't Crown Royal.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely not.
Crown Royal's half the price.
It's not gonna come in the bag.
Yeah, it's not. So. And then the whole marketing thing of Beyonce will have, just certain dollars kind of flow to it, whether people want to endorse it or, drink it or not, only because. But how many times have we gotten on this platform and talked about celebrity endorsed items and how they don't necessarily pan out or they're necessarily trash because people hype them up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've had the Kevin Hart tequila. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's okay. Like I know you shit on Casamigos. That's George Clooney shit.
And see, I think it's just cool to say. I think that's how Casamigos became a thing because it's just cool to say.
Yeah,
like, And again, I'm not a tequila guy.
Yeah.
But how different you've had it? How different is it than other tequilas or whatever the top notch Casamigos?
Oh yeah, it ain't that.
See, it's just easy to say.
It ain't that.
It's just easy. It's
definitely
it's fun. It's fun to say. That's why it's so popular. So I don't know. I guess looking at this because so the name of the whiskey is Sir Davis, which is named after again her family member. I can't remember if it's like a great uncle or what. Now I'm just interested to see, since this has been announced, how soon she'll start getting brand deals. Like it'll be the official whiskey of the Texans or some shit like something like that. Like I assume stuff like this will begin to happen. Is it even out yet? Like I know she announced it. Is it out?
I haven't seen it, yet, but then again, I ain't checking for it either.
Yeah, same.
I'm not checking for it.
So yeah, I mean it's cool. Like, listen, Beyonce strategically finds a way to sell the consumer something throughout the year.
But yeah, and that's not cool because like even like a lot of her fan base, like would you respectfully, do you think that her core fan beehives are just going to drink whiskey?
No.
Okay.
Because I don't think they just drink whiskey now. Like,
yeah, exactly.
They just not going out buying bottles of whiskey, drinking whiskey, when they go out and stuff like that. Exactly. It's not a thing.
So if Jay got behind this, it would be more believable, right? Because Jay has kind of branded himself to be like, oh, the mafioso. I got my tailored suit on. I'm smoking this cigar.
Right.
Cigars and whiskey go hand in hand.
Right.
So that makes sense. And I'm not saying women don't drink whiskey. Actually, women that drink brown have a strong father figure in their life. So that's another that's another story for another day. So women, if y'all out there drinking brown willingly, you had a daddy,
uncle, somebody.
Yeah, somebody taught you that
word.
And that theory has never let me down. but I mean, the reason why this is such a thing, right? Because people have always talked about Beyonce and Jay being the capitalists that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Beyonce being so elusive does not help in the fact that you drop music, you have tours, you have products that you want your fans to endorse or support, but you don't show anything else. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of have to be in the boat of like, well, you got to give to get.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Because think about it like this. Nobody has ever said anything about Rihanna doing the exact same thing that Beyonce does. But Rihanna is accessible. Rihanna has personality. Rihanna, no matter what, Rihanna ain't sitting down doing interviews like none of the A-list really do. But you get to see her and Rocky and the kids. Like you might see Riri at a Caribbean carnival kicking it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Rihanna smoking weed on Instagram. It's always something. Like the whole crush she had with LeBron James. Like she's active on social media. She don't drop a selfie or a picture and go back in the house. So when she does Fenty, when she does her Puma collab, when she does those other things, people are more, they're actually want to gravitate to it because you see Rihanna.
Okay, I hear you.
And she ain't did no music,
and she not gonna do music.
Yeah.
And so I do see what you're saying, but I think Beyonce as the entity that she is, I think that's part of her allure.
Yeah,
I don't know if Beyonce was as accessible as Rihanna is. I don't know if that would help what she has.
It's possible. Well, the thing is, I want to bring this up too. Beyonce has given us so much stuff to buy and buy into, and you can be debate of if it worked or not, right? Hold on, let's start here. We have the House of Darion. Remember that?
I do.
Okay.
The jeans, right?
Yeah, the jeans and all that.
The clothing. Okay.
Got up out of here. Now Beyonce has 2 perfumes. She has Beyonce Heat. I don't know who really wearing it, respectfully. And then hold on, what's the other one? Say Noir, and that just came out last year.
Okay.
So that was in partnership with like the Renaissance and all that stuff.
Okay,
so,
that makes sense.
So, perfumes have a tendency to stay around sometimes, but neither here nor there. Hold on. We got Parkwood Entertainment. Now that's the management and production company that had that's in charge of Chloe and Halle. They're the only 2 actually got.
Okay.
I mean, they did Cadillac Records as a movie. That's dope, but it's starring Beyonce. Okay. Ivy Park,
yeah,
the
first 1 or 2 collections went crazy, but after that it was,
and
like,
the only reason it went crazy is because the influencers got behind it too. Like she was sending, like most influencers,
I remember the big box.
Yeah, the big box. They'll get on there, they talk about it, they wear it.
COVID, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe that has something to do with, and Adidas was branding it. So Adidas has a lot of hit and miss with a lot of people, but that partnership about to end. No, it ended last year.
It did, yeah, it ended already.
So I think I might be missing one, but those are like the big things when it comes to Beyonce and her business ventures, right? It's a lot of peddling, like stuff that people have to buy in the middle of buying your enormous tour tickets.
Right.
Now, hey, listen, Ticketmaster kind of has something to do with that, so it's not completely on the artist.
Yeah.
But Beyonce tickets do go, and she does sell out.
She does
everywhere she goes.
But see, and
now it goes to production and all that too. Like, I mean, this ain't like just Beyonce sitting on the stool and she charging y'all $1,500.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see these
there's
lights,
actual production.
You see these lights.
I seen the smoke machine,
the smoke, the fireworks, the fire that come up.
I seen all that.
So. Blue Ivy dance lessons. You got to pay for all that, baby. You got to pay for all that.
She got to rehearse.
Yeah.
But nah, I mean, I think that could be a part of it, her being accessible. But I also think it's the fact that, like, with Ivy Park, for example, she put out like 6 or 7 different collections. Like if it was just 1, 2, maybe 3 collections, and then you switch up the marketing for it, then I think it's cool. But if you're going to continue pushing out these collections, at some point people are going to get tired.
And I think the most successful brands, right, that we can just point to and say that people bought into, if you're talking about celebrity colon, at least in the most recent memory that I can think of, Ye and Rihanna, because it felt like they had somewhat creative control over what they were putting out.
Right.
This feels like Ivy Park just felt like, oh, Beyonce endorsed it, but is Beyonce actually in the room making decisions on this stuff? No, it feels like Beyonce slapped her name on something respectfully and just said, hey, buy this because it's me.
And
that this doesn't express any individuality in any sort, right?
Yes, and outside of any maybe promotional picks for Ivy Park, and again, this goes to her accessibility. We haven't seen her in any of it.
Like at least Kanye wore his shit.
Like right,
he wore his stuff.
We seen him in the holy shirts.
Right.
We
seen all that.
We seen it. So yeah, okay. I mean, okay, maybe that does play somewhat of a major role in
just because you gotta think about it, bro. She had dropped a whole country album and went ghost. Remember we sitting here debating and we doing all the work, we doing all the fighting. You know, we fighting all these country people for you, and you ain't dropped a video. You ain't trying like.
And listen, I put out the clip of me asking you about her having a country twang over a country beat, and is it really country? And they tore me up on TikTok. I seen the comments. I just ain't respond because yeah. So I seen it, but like we did it.
We doing all the leg work, and you ain't dropping no visuals. Like, and then the tour coming this year. The only reason she ain't come outside this year is because I just bust y'all over the head last year. So why you put the album out this year? You could have put the album out next year with your tour. But now we gotta wait a whole another year for 2025. I'm sorry, for you to come outside and do Cowboy Carter with a few of your other hits, like sprinkle. So that's playing.
And remember, Act 3 is coming. Whatever that is. So
come on.
Listen, man. I went to the Renaissance concert and I only paid $30 for my ticket. So I bought them shits the day of. I'm not going back to Beyonce concert. I'm not. But shout out to Sir Davis. Shout out to her new whiskey.
So you go buy some Sir Davis?
Probably not.
Would you try it with somebody?
If they absolutely, I'll try it for sure.
Yeah, $90. I need to. I think you know what I was gonna say, and it didn't even sound.
Look, I'm looking. I'm just like,
you gonna let me finish that too? That's crazy. This man. Next topic: Juvenile, Dirty South legend, rap legend. I would say, man, he out here talking spicy. Man, he's just been out here on like a podcast interview tour, just laying into certain topics and stuff. Right?
Real quick though, because him and Manny Fresh have both like been on a press run. Like they got something coming.
They touring.
They
yeah,
that's right. They are coming to St. Louis.
No, I think that already passed.
So they were supposed to be here, but I think it got rescheduled to December.
Okay,
so it's in December now.
Oh, no, that's what's up. I didn't know that. But yeah, it's Juvenile and Manny Fresh doing like it's like the traveling tiny desk type situation.
Yeah.
So they do, like I know recently, I think they was out in Vegas. Shout out to Views. I seen them boys' stories out there. I know BG came out. So it's like, you might get a little surprises here and there and stuff like that.
Right.
But I imagine the Juvenile show to still be a good show to be at.
Yeah.
Especially with Manny Fresh kind of manning the band.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Being the DJ and the band guy. Nah, I think that's gonna be dope. But Juvie outside and he talking a little crazy. What'd he say, Johnny?
Hold on. Let me just play the clip and we'll get to it.
So about man, Nas, niggas always talk about man, Nas, Jay-Z,
Yeah.
Okay, who sold the most records? I think that's what counts, right?
Yeah.
Let's not go off the let's just do numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pick your best Nas album, pick your best Jay-Z album, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take 400. And you tell me who sold the most on that solo album.
I'm taking 400.
I'm just
so I'm gonna just cut it off there. So basically, and I'm not sure how this conversation came about, but basically, Juvenile is saying, look, everybody's always talking about Jay-Z, Nas, how they the greatest rappers because of albums sold and all that. And he's saying, look, my best-selling album, 400 Degrees, tops both of them. So if we talking about best rappers, why am I never in the conversation, right? And I mean, it sounds good. Now, with him saying that, we had to look it up, right? So I went and asked Chat GPT because I got that download on my phone.
Oh, that's what's up.
So if we take I guess Nas and Jay-Z's highest selling albums and compare it to 400 Degrees. As far as albums sold, let's see what it was talking about. So Juvenile's album 400 Degrees, released in 1998, sold over 4.8 million copies in the United States.
Okay.
So okay, cool. So that's the benchmark, right?
Okay.
Nas' best-selling album is It Was Written, released in 1996. That album sold over 3 million copies in the United States.
Okay.
So I guess right there, Juvenile is correct in what he's saying. So if we go to Jay-Z's highest selling album, it's Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, released in 1998, and it sold over 5 million copies in the United States.
Okay.
So he's 1 for 2.
Okay.
In his description here. But do you think it adds any credence to what he's saying? Like, do you think does it make sense? Does he have the right to say what he's saying? Like, what do you think?
I think he does. I mean, if you're a rapper, you're supposed to believe you're better than these niggas. So I don't know why we do this to our Southern MCs, but hey, we're here now. But I always stood behind Juvie as being one of the best lyricists from the South, period. Like, for him to have one of the most highly selling albums from the South, period. And the one they would probably say, oh, well, because that back that ass up. No, the album is fire from top to bottom. And that's the reason why it's held so high. And the reason why I feel like he can talk that shit is because New Orleans wouldn't be what it is without him. The album lives and breathes New Orleans. Like, I mean, I know No Limit was out here first, not taking away nothing Master P and No Limit ever
of course
did. But if you're talking about the true sound of what New Orleans rap could sound like, it was him.
Yeah. And
it rests on him. Cash Money, we don't get Lil Wayne without this. We don't get that. So we don't get the Hot Boys, we don't get Cash Money, we don't get Nicki, we don't get Drake. So if none of this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm putting a lot on it.
Yeah.
And you gotta think about when he sold it. We talking about 1998. I sit here and talk about how great that year was. Look at them albums.
Yeah, no, for real.
That's the year Miseducation came out.
Jesus.
Hard Knock Life, Jay. You have 2 from DMX.
Oh, that was an album. That was the year that the 2 albums came out.
2 albums come out. Hold on. Capital Punishment was 98.
Jesus.
That's Big Pun. Listen,
okay.
Aquemini, Outkast.
Okay.
Like, that's why you can talk your shit.
So, and I'm rolling.
Yeah.
I agree. So, at this point, why do you think it is that Juvenile doesn't get his just due? Like, why is 400 Degrees as an album not talked about with those other albums?
I think it is, but I think it's just in the shuffle. I think because when you look at 98 as a whole, I think it is what it is. It's the year hip hop turned around, man.
Yeah.
Like, it commercially boomed in 98.
Jesus, that's crazy.
So,
and I honestly didn't realize 400 Degrees sold that many albums.
That's why I talk so much shit about you, man. Niggas be out here playing with him, man. And I think that him making the songs that he did, like, it's always like your singles are never a true reflection of what your talent is sometimes. And he talked about how he changed up his flow on Back That Ass Up because he was rapping too much. And Manny Fresh confirmed the story. He's like, hey, yeah, he was doing too much to my beat. So Back That Ass Up, Juvie, even though that's the song everybody knows him for, that's not the true reflection of the artist.
Oh, that's right. Because I did see a clip because it's been a long ass press run where he was like, there's a different version of Back That Ass Up where he like is way more lyrical. But man, I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that version.
They said they scrapped it.
They scrapped it.
They said they got rid of it.
They moved it to the trash on the computer.
He was like back in 90, he was like 96, 97 when they recorded it, you know.
You gotta save the space, baby. Tape, like, you got floppy disk. That's crazy. Having that beat on a floppy disk is crazy. But I mean, listen. From that clip of what Juvenile was saying, it makes perfect sense if we go off record sales. Like he's right up there with them.
And the other thing is too, right? If this was your favorite rapper, you would use that talking point as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you know how I talk my shit about Jay and all this. Man, listen, I'm gonna talk my shit, but I got points though. But it's kind of like niggas don't want to use the Grammy argument. Well, tell your rapper to get some fucking Grammys then we can have this guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like it's not
It's a thing.
It's a thing,
It's a
right?
thing.
So if you're the person you stand behind sells records, like we talk about, like let's bring Drake into it, right?
Mhm.
We always talk about how Drake and Kendrick and all this. Well, Kendrick, Kendrick ain't sold that much. Like, well, Drake sold 1 million, right? Well, sold billions of streams and all these records, and he's number one. And see, that's the shit you can use when we having these debates.
It's true. It's true.
He thought of. I mean, now the point too. Yeah, I mean, Jay got you a little bit on that because I knew that Hard Light sold 5 because I think we talked about this at some point, but I didn't know how much Nas it sold and it was written. Now you can go through how you want to say who album is better. It Was Written is a great album from Nas. This is a great album from Juvenile, and Hard Knock Life is a really solid album from Jay. I think it's good, but I don't think it's his best. And he sold 5,
which is crazy, right?
Which is 5. Like I don't think it's top 5, Jay. But
that's
but Jay was talking on there, but that was the commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like that Hard Knock Life is your biggest single off that album.
And in hindsight, I don't really care for that song too much, honestly.
I don't think nobody does. But I mean, hey, it worked though.
Yeah.
For
the moment,
what it was supposed to do.
It did. But man, shout out to Juvenile, man.
Yeah, man.
Listen, when you are a person who has a single, who has an album that has clearly stood the test of time in hip hop and will continue, and you still here to talk about it, talk your shit, man.
You're talking about an album that did not. I mean, the album aged well.
Absolutely.
Most of those albums did.
Crazy.
If we thinking about it,
crazy to think about, right?
Most of those albums did.
Come on, man.
Oh man, that's crazy, man. But hey, man, blurred segment, man. We got a few things here, man. Let's go here. James Spader voiced Ultron back in the not Infinity War, but
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron, right?
Yep.
So he has been out of the character for a while, right?
Yeah.
But hey, MCU brought him back, man, because Ultron is supposed to be in a new Vision series.
Yes, sir.
So Johnny, what do you think about Ultron making his return to the MCU?
Well, first of all, I'm just gonna hit a round of applause because I think it's a great idea. I feel like there's been a few properties where they may have alluded to Ultron potentially coming back, or maybe that's just been us talking about it for years. Like we need Ultron back.
Yeah.
So for them to even, I don't know if this is a rumor or true or what, but the fact that it's even out there, I think is a great idea. So I really hope that it happens. Also, you give somewhat of a boost to your Vision series that nobody probably cares about.
Yeah,
I mean that just
Yeah.
is what it is. Now we haven't seen, like, I don't really want to say White Vision because that's kind of crazy, but we haven't seen White Vision. We ain't seen White Vision since the end of WandaVision. So that he's just been out there looming and lurking around for how many ever years it's been.
Yeah.
So to bring James Spader as Ultron into this show, I think makes a lot of sense because Vision and Ultron had their own spat throughout, at least the latter half of Age of Ultron. So
exactly,
it would make sense for them to bring him back. So I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah, because Ultron. I mean, Vision ain't nothing but Ultron,
Tony,
Bruce,
and
all what's the other one? Jarvis. He's like an amalgamation of all those.
That's right.
So yeah, his direct foe is definitely Ultron. So what I'm saying, you got to bring him back. I'm just happy that they've always done him justice. Like I think Age of Ultron kind of gets, at the time it got shat on. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't the Avengers. They just felt a different way about it. But hey, man, I like a villain that be talking his shit. He be dropping them quotes. He had them quotes for niggas. Man. Like it was just.
So now the real question is: do you think they bring him back as a cameo, or do you think he'll have a major role in the series?
I think a major role. I don't think this doesn't make as big a headline for this if he's not back fully.
You don't think so? Okay.
No, I don't think so. Because if it was just a cameo, we keep him under wraps, baby. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to talk about that.
Nah, that makes sense.
Because think about
that's a point.
Think about it like this too. We talked about RDJ, how he came back for the, Now even though he's doing a different role, he's not reprising anything. It's a completely different role. But the MCU figured out what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
So we go stick to the rivers and lakes we are used to. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we got to get RDJ back over here somehow, some way. I bet. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got to get James Spader back just to voice Ultron.
Yeah.
Let's get it going. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think there's a physical version of Ultron in the show, or is it just AI, like on a computer screen?
I think he physically comes back. Now the thing is that raises the. I mean, hey, you already doing Vision, so hey, the cost of the show go already be $250. Let's go and sprinkle this Ultron in here, baby.
That's the basic amount.
Man,
250 M's.
Man, what?
This might go up to 3-4.
Man, what?
That's crazy.
Secret Invasion was $250. So what you think they finna pay for this Ultron?
This shit finna be 3.5 episodes.
Boy, I'm like, man, they gonna upgrade this to a movie. Like, and ain't nobody asked for it.
And then cancel it like they did Armor Wars.
I mean, now if you could have made Ultron in Armor Wars or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, because James Spader is such a big deal when it comes to his acting prowess and the fact that he's voiced a major level villain. Yeah. So yeah, like
I would love to see James Spader or hear James Spader in an Armor Wars movie. Like somehow figure how Ultron comes back in Armor Wars had the potential to be great, man, but they canceled it. But anyway, shout out to James Spader.
Right. Last question on this, right? Mm-hmm. So do you think they're doing the Ultron character justice by bringing him back? Because, it's kind of like Age of Ultron was cool. I loved it. I enjoyed him as I enjoyed the whole thing, but it's just that, the more we get Ultron, the more people seem to appreciate what that movie was, what if kind of provided, what I'm saying, that type of stuff. So you think it's cool? Yes, no,
no, I like it. I like it a lot. I wish it could have been in a movie space. Yeah. So I hope like whatever happens in the show, right? Whether he's the main villain, a sub villain, or just a cameo, I hope they continue to allude to Ultron in upcoming projects. Because Ultron is one of the better villains throughout the MCU. So I hope they continue to find ways to bring him back.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, hey man, let's try this out too. our favorite topic here on this show. According to Marvel insiders, right? They're saying that they're in favor of replacing the Mahershala Ali Blade film with Wesley Snipes. The MCU has been planning this Blade film since 2019, but due to production issues, writing, directing, all that type of stuff, it just hasn't gotten the ball rolling. Johnny, do you think Marvel is doing the right thing with this Blade film?
I think had we not gotten Blade and Deadpool, then maybe. Because if this is true, if this were to happen, Wesley Snipes would have to play a different version. Like he can't play the version from what was it, 99? The original Blade came out. He can't play that version because that version died in the void. So this would have to be a variant version of Blade.
Okay, I got what you're saying now.
So I mean, am I against it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Wesley and Mahershala are somewhat around the same age, give or take 5-ish years. 12. Oh, that's crazy.
Mahershala is 50. Wesley Snipes is 62.
That's crazy. Yeah. But do I still think that Wesley Snipes can play the role? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But he would just have to play a variant version from a different timeline universe.
It's very possible for them to bring him back as, he can be the main 616 Blade. Like, he can do it because, hey, they made a whole Indiana Jones for Harrison Ford, old ass, man. And that nigga was 80. That nigga's old as hell.
Hella de-aging technology. Man, what? You talk about expensive movies.
Man, look, what?
Just on the de-aging.
Like, you could have went and found a young nigga to play Indiana Jones, bro. Funny. Like, but no, let's get Harrison Ford in here. Jesus Christ. So if that's the game we playing, man, and like I said, I'm age shaming because at least Wesley was, this was what 30 years ago. So he was 30. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Man.
Now you 50 trying to play the role, and they can at least get 2 solo films up out of you, plus Avengers and all that stuff.
And that's the other point. Like we know with actors taking roles in the MCU that they usually sign on for multiple projects, like this, right?
Don Cheadle has been playing Rhodey since what, 2010 when they did Iron Man 2?
Iron Man 2, yeah.
We just starting to get like some solo stuff for him. Thanks. And Don Cheadle is a leading man. Hotel Rwanda.
It's true. No, it's true. It's true.
Films, man.
So that I guess
Anthony Mackie too. Like he just getting his film.
After being a sidekick like
Jesus Christ, yes. On your left, goddamn.
I'm left. Goddamn. But no, I mean, I don't think you would be able to do a single Blade film and not have whoever the actor is in that role for additional projects going forward.
Exactly.
So it may not be the best idea to have Wesley Snipes play this role.
That's fair.
So I don't know. I guess I'm kind of on the fence about it now because I would love to see him reprise the role as the MCU's Blade, but we gotta think long term, baby.
Yeah, you're right.
Gotta think long term.
If they was thinking long term, they would have let Mahershala pick.
Right.
They was like, hey, you know, you want to play Blade? You know what, brother? We got another role for you.
And to think about it, like if he were to play Blade, he's got to be in Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like all of that is coming up back to back to back.
Yeah.
And this movie's supposed to be out in November of next year, and they still ain't even got like it's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
It's crazy.
I know, man. But hey, last thing before we get up out of here, man. Original topic. Something came up, and I thought that me and Johnny can kind of get into this as creators, right? We watch shows, we consume movies, we consume music, we consume podcasts, whatever it is in this creative space. And a lot of times that people will provide fan service, trying to cater directly to a base rather than just creating art. So we're here to debate, what do you think about those things? And what inspired this conversation is because there's such a conversation around Game of Thrones. And if you're heavy into the throne world, you know how this goes, right? People hated season 6 through 8 because, for one, George R. R. Martin never stopped writing the books. He never finished the books. I'm sorry. So the source material wasn't there for 7 and 8, when it comes to those seasons. So a lot of people just start freestyling with the characters rather than keeping them true to certain origins, right? So fans are pissed about how Game of Thrones ended. Okay. And there has been damn near petitions online to where people want a season 9 continuation of a series that ended 4 or 5 years ago at this point.
Yep.
That sounds crazy though, don't it?
It's insane.
But hey, people, man, when the fans demand something, they damn near can get it out of creators. So seeing how much the production value of one season of Game of Thrones is, you can easily get $1 million an episode. Easily. That's why they in your face so much. People got to watch this.
Right.
$1 million. MCU could never.
We need all eyes on this.
Well, now MCU could actually, because they actually do They do $250 million seasons, and it'd be 6 episodes. But what do you think about that? Because it can be expanded to just MCU music, podcasts. Like even here, like you get a few suggestions from your fan base, and they start to demand certain things. So what do you think about that? Do you think you should like cave into those demands?
I think my answer to that question is no, because you have a writer's room, you have developers, you have people who are the minds behind said projects, right? Yes. Whether it's movie, TV, movies, whatever. Yeah. I think it's up to them to stick with the vision, because I think I say this a lot, like with kids and teens. They don't know what the hell they want. We don't know what we want until we get it, right? So we can sit here and we can look at Insecure, we could look at Abbott Elementary, we could look at all these different TV shows, right? And say, well, I think I see how this is going. I don't think it should go that way. I think such and such should happen. Yeah. We saying that, but if we were to actually see that play out, then we would probably be upset. Like, why that happened? Like, no, I think the creators should stick to what they feel like the creation should be versus trying to listen to or hear out the fan base, because when we get it, we get it. Yeah,
fans are fickle. We don't know what we want.
Absolutely.
Because like Game of Thrones, even though the show ended, however long it did, the main show, you do have spinoffs coming, and the spinoffs have been entertaining, but I don't read the books. I'm just a show person. Yeah. Just like I don't read the comic books. I'm a movie guy. Yeah. So when it comes to source material, I can see if you, are heavily invested in the book and they don't pull off certain concepts and certain stuff right. But if the show rocking, it's rocking.
It's rocking.
I ain't got nothing. I don't care about that.
Exactly.
But I don't knock nobody for feeling that way either. Just don't, let me enjoy my shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Let me enjoy this, baby. But it's just like thinking about it, you should never cave in. I'm trying to see it from the other point, like the fan. Because like think about it like this, right? I was gonna use the Justice League as an example. Snyder Cut. The only reason that came out is because fans petitioned for it. Yeah. Now people would agree that the Snyder Cut is a better film than what was presented in the theatrical release. But you're talking about a completely, the film is damn near this long, and it was just so many production issues and things like that. So being privy to the development process is giving fans entitlement, I think, because we know who the writers are. Social media speaks. It's the voice of the people when it comes to displeasure, when it comes to certain projects. Like, I'm glad you brought up Insecure. I remember when Insecure was in its height. We was killing that show every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not meaning in a bad way. I mean, we were just on it. We talked about it. The timeline
It was a moment,
jumping.
man.
And if it was a bad look or a bad episode, we would let Issa and the writer and the creative teams know. And those people would speak out in defense of the art. And I remember season 2 being so it kind of felt like, in hindsight, that was like, so they was going for shock value. Anything that got us roaring about season 1, they just doubled down on it in 2. And that kind of can sacrifice the story sometimes, where 3, 4, 5 kind of went in a better flow of direction, in my opinion. But 2 was kind of like, oh, we busting y'all over the head with all this sex and all this drama and all this mayhem. Like, you know what I'm saying? We go. It was overkill. It was overkill, crazy, right? It was crazy. But that's what, listening to the fans or trying to get the fans get the fans in a bunch respectfully. Just, it doesn't necessarily translate to the best art.
Exactly. And then when you get it, then you complain more. It's like,
exactly.
And that's why we say the consumer don't know what they want until they get it. So just because people themselves are so fickle, that's why I say the creators should just stick to what they feel the vision of the creation should be. For sure.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like with MCU. Like we talk about the MCU all the time on the show. So when you look at it, the fans dictate what they're doing with Marvel, because there's no way you would think to get RDJ back to play another person. You know what I'm saying? But that comes to listening to your fan base. Oh, we bringing the Russo brothers back. Any movie they got over here slapped.
Facts.
But the thing is, people would shit on set phases 4 and 5. Like, phase 1 didn't have this, phase 2 didn't have this, phase 3 didn't have this. But we look at how it concluded, so we just overrank what the Infinity Saga possibly is. You know what I'm saying? 30 films, all of them didn't slap. Now we have said,
of course, we know there's some complete trash in there.
And I'm talking about phase 1 to listen.
So okay, let me ask you this: has there been any, I guess, movies or TV shows or anything where you didn't actually watch them in real time? You watched them years after, where you could see like fan servicey things happen in the show?
Oh, absolutely, Game of Thrones. that kind of, because I've been on the show and I told you how I got to the party late. So But the thing with that is, like, knowing the background of it, knowing that the first 6 seasons are pretty much solid book material stuff, and then now we just start wilding, we start changing character arcs. Like, this one character was the smartest person, then by the time we get to season 8, this nigga dumb, like he don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like
crazy.
And people know, like, it's kind of like when I start hearing I wasn't like, it's not that bad. But when you think about it, you're like, damn, he was rocking like this.
Yeah.
Damn, why would they build up a fight between these two characters and then somebody else kills the character that's the ops, right? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So you like,
that's interesting. For me, it's so the show The Office, right?
Yeah.
I only started watching it back in, I want to say like 2019 or something like that. So it had been off the air for at least 10 years when I actually watched it.
Gotcha.
The first few seasons, so like Jim and Pam, who became like the main focal love interest in The Office, their relationship was kind of like it was like a sub plot in the beginning of the show, right?
Yeah.
So as the seasons go by, I see them start to connect more and more, and it kind of, at first it didn't kind of make sense, and they kind of made it make sense later on, but I could tell that that's something that the audience was really pushing for, because that's not the direction the show was going.
Exactly.
So like they had a couple season finales where they like kissed and all that kind of, and I'm like, well, I mean, I get it, but this doesn't really fit the whole. It was crazy.
Well, I mean, hey, we talked about this in pre-production. The best example of fan service is Steve Urkel on Family Matters. Anything that was Steve Urkel led was because they were catering to the fans of literally the fans. Like, hey, we know y'all tuning in for Urkel, so we go give you Urkel. We go give you Stefan. We go give you Myrtle Urkel. We go give you Bruce Lee Urkel. We go give you Robot Urkel. We go give you all these Urkels. You know what I'm saying?
And again, that may be the best form of fan service because, as well, at least a lot of people know, Steve Urkel wasn't even a main part of the show. He was just a neighbor at one point.
Yes.
But he became an overnight hit success or whatever, and they just quickly turned and made him the pivotal role. And it's like, wow.
No, it's like the neighbor shouldn't be having this much shine.
At all. Like, we never seen inside his house. We never seen his parents. We never seen nothing
It's
from
kind
him.
of like on Full House and Kimmy. They had Kimmy storylines and shit.
Bro, imagine if Kimmy became the focal
didn't
point.
live in the house now. You got two uncles, you got Bob, like you got
That's crazy.
You got Big Danny, you got the girls, like you know what I'm saying? Why are we focusing on Kimmy?
That's
Kimmy
crazy.
just come in, crack these jokes,
And
be a little off,
and leave.
get up out of here.
But
No. Steve Urkel was
he was him.
Yeah, he was him.
The show was called Urkel.
Man, do the Urkel dance. Like everybody, we getting all this work, baby.
Facts. That's crazy. But it's true. So listen, man, that may be the one rare instance where fan service worked.
Oh no, it say that show, man, they kept that show on for 9 seasons off of fan service. 9.
Yeah,
Most
man.
black shows don't make it past 4.
It's
got
true.
9
It's true.
on network TV too.
Hey man, TGIF.
I guess, man.
TGIF.
That, we don't. It's like it's one thing to follow these kids. Like we watch the kids grow from kids to adults on the show. Like literally, like bro. How we see Urkel be literally like 13 on the show. Now he 32. Like he like him like he'll say nigga grown. Like this nigga's grown.
I told you they said his ass in space. Like, Laura was saying, like, you ain't even like him the first 8 seasons. Now you mad? You said he going to space? Like, come on, man. It's crazy.
Nigga married at Disneyland and shit. That's what's up.
ABC. You know, you gotta fit it in.
Oh
there.
yeah.
You gotta fit it in there.
Well, clearly we have reached the end of our docket. Let us know what y'all think about that last topic. Johnny, what you got for
man.
bro?
If you are on YouTube, first of all, thank you for rocking with us this long.
Yes, sir.
Hit that comment section, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We'll catch y'all next week. Now, if you know what time, if you're on audio, you know what time it is, but you should still know what time it is.
OS song of the week.
OS song of the week. Let me pull this up.
You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.